Well, like many people, I read the Jason Schreier article yesterday about in the inside workings of BioWare as they were producing Anthem. And as I was reading that piece, I got to thinking, are video games still fun? Is this really a hobby that can sustain itself on both ends? I mean, this report was just the latest in a series of news reports on crunch and abusive practices inside game development studios. We've had articles about layoffs. We've had lots of work done on YouTube and elsewhere about exploitative practices. When you play these games as services. Jim Sterling's videos come to mind on that topic. And so I was just kind of asking myself after I finished that article, is this hobby still fun? I mean, consider this. We have tons of people working in the game industry who are sacrificing their physical and psychological well-being for a product that, when it comes out, oftentimes disappoints gamers, if not outright exploits them. And, just having played games for such a long time, and having been inside the hobby for such a long time, I don't think this is necessarily something I want to be a part of as a player. I certainly haven't enjoyed a lot of the new AAA releases. I don't get into games as services. And, I'm not going to pay $60 to be disappointed. For example, Anthem, I have played Anthem. I had a free code for it with some computer hardware I purchased. And, while I think it's kind of bland. I mean, I haven't gotten to a part where it's bad or I'm frustrated with it, but it's seems uninspired, and I'm not a competitive player, so maybe if I were a competitive player who played these looter shooter sort of things, I'd be more upset. But to pay $60 for a product that disappoints on so many levels, and for which so many people have sacrificed time with their families, sacrificed their health, sacrificed their sense of well-being, it just seems like something I don't want to support. And I'm asking myself the question, is there an alternative? Indie games, to an extent, are, although I've always kind of questioned the creativity. They seem to piggyback on a common aesthetic, although that's changing a little bit now. I don't know where the AAA video game genre goes from here. In a way, I'd almost like the industry to almost take a demake approach, and we go back to some manageable concepts, a manageable visual aesthetic, financially, where you don't have to create all these super expensive assets, or sort of move away from expensive voice acting and cinematography in games, and just go back to more of a pure gameplay experience. That's probably wishful thinking, but I'd be curious to know what everyone else thinks. Can this model sustain itself? I'm not one of the people who thinks there's going to be a crash, because I think there is kind of a core group of players that embraces this new play-to-win, free-to-play kind of concept. I think it's still very profitable. But I do see it alienating long-time players. And I think once you sort of move out of that core demographic, I don't know that video games have the broad appeal that they once did. And I think that's going to be a problem for the industry. I think we could see some contraction, but I don't see an absolute collapse. So let me know what you guys think. Are video games still fun?